These ridiculous grown-ups on the show World's Strictest Parents actually have lost their minds. Today we're going to be reacting to some of the most outrageous and just strange punishments that these parents do to the kids on this show, and I'm serious when I tell you watch until the very end because this one is crazy. You're not going to believe how immature these parents truly are. Anyways, without any further ado, let's just get right on into it, and make sure you drop a like if you enjoy my content. Anyways, let's get into it, shall we?
My name is Chuck. I live with my wife, Tracy, and my two sons, Matthew and Jacob.
You guys need to get your chores done. Okay. There's a lot of structure in our house.
So the parents you're seeing here, these are their actual children, and they're just kind of going over what they do in their house to keep their kids, quote, disciplined. And you're gonna see the true insane depths that they go to in order to make sure these kids know that their parents are the ones that lay down the law, and if they break any of those laws, they're in big trouble. Also, it's hilarious that you could take one look at this freaking mom and just realize instantly that she is a massive uber Karen. I don't know why, but she just absolutely has that image, so I'm not surprised. Same with the dad. He seems like a total jerk as well, just by looking at him.
There's a lot of structure in our house. We need to make sure everybody's pulling the line. I don't find it acceptable.
That's right. To start things off, this woman literally goes up to their random, like, cabinet or armoire, whatever you want to call it, finds a singular speck of dust or dirt, which I don't know happens because when you live in a house, dust is created. This kid can't possibly get every single particle off this thing. I paid $700 for a freaking Dyson vacuum this last year, and even that overpriced behemoth cannot get every single speck of dust, all right? But no, since he missed this one singular particle and it was sitting on top of this shelf that nobody in their right mind would even look at or pay attention to, this lady's like, drop down and give me 10 push-ups.
You have to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, and if not, give me some push-ups.
When you know damn well this lady herself has probably not done 10 push-ups in her adult life, like in the combined 2 decades she's been an adult. What a sad, sad excuse for a parent, and I just love how amped up I get watching this because these people are so freaking ridiculous, dude. They don't realize how much they're making their kids hate them.
You're gonna be punished.
4, 5, 6. My mom could figure out anything. You try to sneak one thing by, she'll figure out who did it.
And you'd think this kid is like speaking highly of his mom, which he might think he is, but really he's just brainwashed. Your mom is actually psycho, and she's like a helicopter parent that pays attention to your every move, and every time you make a slight misstep or do something that doesn't align with her random stupid rules that she has set up, that I'm sure change on the fly based off of how she's feeling, that's when you get the punishment, kid, all right? Your mom isn't some superhero that just has eyes in the back of her head and can read your mind. No, she's a controlling freak that just loves punishing her children for some reason. Maybe because she has a sad life, or maybe because she was punished too much when she was a kid, and now she's trying to get her comeuppance. I don't know what it is, but I find there's too many loser parents out there that are exactly like this.
9, 10.
When you're not strict, you have kids that are out of control, and you have an unhappy home.
We're starting off with the mom saying, you know, when you have kids that are, disciplined, that's how you keep a happy home. I'm telling you right now, you walk over to this kid's house for like just hanging out after school or something, the vibes are off. You walk into this area and you just realize the hate and the disdain that is in the air from these parents to the kids and vice versa. All right, I don't know who's fooling themselves here, but nobody is happy in this house except for the parents that clearly don't have to do any chores themselves and just get on their kids when they don't do every single thing that is asked of them.
Come on, big guys, shake them out. Let's go. The reason we're so hard on our kids is we want to give them the tools that they need to succeed in life. Pump it out there, guys.
And now moving on to what the dad said, he just is acting like they are just helping their children out so much by being so strict. No, you know what you're doing to your children? You're not giving them the tools they need to survive. You're giving them the tools they need to be as deceptive as possible to make sure that anything they actually do that is bad goes under the radar for you, since you're watching them with basically a magnifying glass and just grilling them and making them do punishments by doing push-ups every single time they mess up. Of course, your kid's just gonna grow up to resent you and hate you. That's really what you're teaching them, all right?
Tracy's very creative with her punishments. She has a book of all the punishments that she used throughout the time that we've had children.
Yeah. So let's just, say this is not creative. I don't know if this is a good word to use, buddy. Your wife is not creative. She is a full-blown freaking psychopath that maybe needs to be evaluated by some sort of institution, mentally. Because who the hell goes out and makes a binder? She had to go to Staples, get the binder, go onto Word, create a Word document, and make this stupid cover for this binder that is full of punishments for her children. If that doesn't show how obsessed they are with the punishment side of the whole raising kids thing, I don't know what would show that. Like, clearly these people had kids simply to bully them and make them do everything in the house that they don't want to do, like dust the shelves, and then when it's not to their perfect standards, they just go ham and they flip through the page like, okay, page 43, you gotta take a cold dip in the lake. Sorry, you know the punishment. Mom has the book. She's the creative one. I'm just following the rules. Like, what losers, dude? This is absolutely freaking insane.
One time Jake left the basketball downstairs, and for punishment, he had to take it everywhere with him, out to eat, to the movies, and he was pretty embarrassed about it.
All right, so let me run this back. Let me just run the scenario through your heads real quick. This kid was playing outside with his basketball, which is, you know, something most parents would crave at this point, like for their kid to go outside and hop off Minecraft. I know it wasn't a thing when this show was airing, probably just based off the quality of the show, but still, he comes inside and accidentally forgets his basketball inside downstairs where it's not supposed to be. Instead of the mother, I don't know, picking it up herself and moving it, because this might be the only time that has ever happened, or I don't know, contacting your child and nicely asking really quickly, hey, clearly you're an obedient kid, can you just grab the basketball and move it up to your room, please? No, instead she's like, for the next week, you have to carry this basketball around like you're Tom Hanks in Castaway, and it's your only friend. We're even gonna draw a face on it, and you're gonna be publicly humiliated because everybody who sees you walking around knows you do not ball like that, yet you are walking around with this basketball like an absolute tryhard, and they're wondering what the hell's going on. We're gonna publicly shame you because you made one mistake by leaving one of your outside toys downstairs. That is like the weirdest overstepping of boundaries, and just going out of their way to humiliate the child too, which is another common thread with these insane parents on this show. Like I said in my last episode reacting to this series, I really do think I'm gonna be siding with these kids, no matter how bratty or, you know, out of control they are. I'm sure there's gonna be some cases where I'm like, geez, yeah, that kid needs some serious push-up time or whatever it might be that this mother creates for a punishment. But, you know, in this case, this kid's clearly just a nice kid that is literally just being bullied by his mom, like nonstop. That is something a bully would do, is try to make you have to do something humiliating, or else you just fear what the other punishment might be.
It does teach us valuable lessons other than just the normal. You're grounded for a week.
What did you learn, Jake?
I learned responsibility to keep track of my stuff.
And listen to how obedient and almost script-like that response was. She has turned her own child into an AI chatbot, but like one of the earlier versions that just had super basic canned responses. What did you learn, Jake? I learned to be obedient and to never disobey mother, and to not forget my basketball in the downstairs area, as it is forbidden to have balls in that area. Like this poor freaking bot. Oh my god, I feel bad for this kid. I shouldn't be calling him a bot. It's not his fault that he's been programmed like this, but holy crap, this mom is psycho. And imagine caring this much about your child, wiping every speck of dust off your shelf full of books that you clearly don't read. This lady just has this for decoration, I know it. Like her only literary experience was writing that stupid binder full of punishments.
The advice I'd give the two teens, don't get on my parents' bad side and do what they say.
You got to be able to get it all done correctly in the first time.
And then you have the younger brother here who is basically giving the advice to the new teens that stay with this family and saying the most canned AI response once again. Basically, the advice I have for these kids is to blindly obey my parents, even if their advice is confusing, or even if their punishments conflict with prior things they've said, and just trust them because they're the adults. Like, that kind of thinking is so toxic to teach your child. You know how weird that is to just say, you gotta listen to what adults say. You know how many scenarios I've been in where that advice would have gotten me in some serious trouble? Because I don't know if you guys realize this, but like 90% of adults are stupid. Like, I would say that's a conservative number too, and just emotionally immature and unregulated. And that's why you have scenarios where parents are parenting like this. It just blows my mind that this can exist, but also that is the beauty of this show. So now moving on to another punishment we're gonna cover. These two kids are out here forced to rake up, I don't know, like cow poop on this farm for this military family in the middle of the hot summer sun. And when one of them acts up, watch what they have to do as punishment. This one is truly insane to me. This is like some military drills, bro.
Look at me. Go do the slosh pipe.
Wow, really? Miss Holly has no reason to tell me how to act.
So this kid was talking back because, I don't know, he didn't like doing the farm work. Shocker. And now this parent is making him walk around in their pasture, taking laps with this weird thing above his head. It's like a PVC pipe that I think is filled with water that he literally just has to carry above his head like he's doing military drills, dude. And I'm pretty sure the father of this family is like a military dad. And I get, that's what they do in the army. But dude, people sign up for that. It's not random kids that are already troubled being sent to some random house for a TV show where they then have to do the same workouts. No, it's a totally different scenario.
Do you think you've learned your lesson?
Yeah. Sorry.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. It's just funny what he's saying.
So then the kid gets back from his one lap, and this other girl that is also on the show, not related to him, they're both brought into this family because they need some shaping up. She's simply giggling because the kid is still talking back after taking his one lap. And then look at the speed that this military bro walks out of the barn at. I mean, this dude heard that there was backtalk happening and that his wife was being disrespected, and now he's about to settle the score. Watch how he handles this dude like such a child.
That's not flying at my house. Do you understand me? I'm not having the talk, Tyler.
I was working. I
Are
don't know
you
why.
back talking me now?
Can I just say something before you
No.
think I'm back talking?
So bro has to come out and get all big and tough. That is not gonna fly in my house. You understand me, soldier? Like it's some freaking Call of Duty tutorial. No, dude, again, these are troubled teens you're trying to help. And you're speaking to them like little rats that are in your platoon that you just have no respect for.
You always think we're back talking, but we're just trying to explain
You're
to
good.
you, and
That's
then you
one.
say,
You're doing 4.
you're doing 4.
That's 5.
You're doing 5.
Okay, you know what?
So now she's being put to laps and she's just repeating what he says. I love when these teens have the most immature way of like talking back, and it just triggers these parents to no end. It shows how equal they are on an emotional level. And that's saying something because, well, these are teenagers that are still growing and developing. And this is a grown ass man that has not only had a career, but has been doing adult things like paying taxes and you know, buying properties. And he's still acting like this after being that aged and matured.
Do you understand me?
I don't understand how I was talking to her.
Hit the field.
No, Mr. Pat's a big ass guy. He's really intimidating and he's trying to be a tough guy.
So then the girl gets banished to the freaking field to sit in a chair. I don't know why this is a common theme too that I feel like is going to be happening a lot on this show, where the parents are like, you're not listening to what I'm saying and you're triggering me with your back talk, so go sit out in the sun so you get a sunburn. And so this man's solution for both these kids that just didn't want to clean up horse dung all day after being shipped off to this random family for being on this crappy show they don't want to be a part of anyways, he sends them both to just sit out in the sun. This kid has to go sit out in the baseball diamond because of course this family just has a random baseball field at their house for some reason. But I just don't get how they think this is going to work. Just like the last parents, all this punishment is going to do is further drive the resentment that these people have for authority and not teach them any coping skills when it comes to them finding themselves in these situations where they're either triggered emotionally or just acting out for no reason and nobody understands them. They're literally exacerbating all of those issues that these kids have for no reason and then sending them back to their old crappy scenario that they were living in just so they could be worse off than they were before they were on this show.
I'm sorry.
I was really proud of her for that. I know that that took a lot for her to come and say.
I don't know why she gave in.
So finally the kids cave because I don't know, it's annoying sitting out in the hot sun with no sun tanning lotion. You know, you're kind of risking some bad stuff there if you do that too much in your life. And I'm sure the sunburns were starting to kick in. So finally the girl throws in the towel and does her walking around the pasture. You know, she has to do like 5 or 10 laps with this thing above her head. And just listen to how goofy these parents sound afterwards. You know, they're giving them the pep talk like, I only did that because I love you and deep down I know that you need the punishment in order to, you know, grow and prosper as a child.
Finally, she realized what was right, and she did the right thing, and I'm proud of her for that. You don't have much time left. I really want you to learn how to be respectful.
Did she realize what was right, or did she just realize that you are just such a jerk that you are never going to let her inside and she would be sitting outside in this chair until it was freezing cold at night unless she literally walked around this pasture with the thing over her head? The dad thinks he did some good stuff, so you know what? Round of applause to these parents in this episode that I've reacted to because killing it out here, dude. Those of you out there that don't have your own binder full of punishments for your children, you better get on that and get creative like that first mother we saw. And for all you bad kids out there, remember, just do push-ups and you become a better person. Let's go. For real, that about does it for today's video. Let me know what you thought of this reaction down in the comments below. Shout out to my patrons as always. I appreciate you guys keeping me afloat over there. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace out.